Welcome to another segment of Divine Femininity United. I am your girl, Miss B, Mama B, to those who I am mother of, okay? Alrighty, you all, thank you so much for tuning in at this hour. I know we are scheduled 1 hour behind, 1 hour later than normal. We did this because I was traveling today, coming from my niece's prom. We sent her off to prom. She was absolutely amazing. And then she pulled me out of retirement, y'all. So she had me to slay her crown. You understand me? So I had not done hair in over 2 years. But for her and for my nieces, my nephews, baby, I got to come out. I got to bring my things. I got to bring my tools. So I had to get her together for her prom. And it was absolutely amazing. She was gorgeous. I have not posted any pictures of her on my platforms as of yet. I was waiting on her parents to do it first, because come on, y'all. How many of y'all know we don't post nobody else's children unless you've gotten the green light from their parents, okay? That's their kids, not yours, okay? So I had to get the permission from her parents and wait for them to post first, and then I'm going to go ahead and post, you know, her and the work and things like that. It was an amazing time. And so I got a chance to see family, which I don't get a chance to do often, but I got a chance to see family, and it was a good time. It was a good time. And she looked amazing. Okay. So here we are today. We are talking about, you see it scrolling across the screen, and on Clubhouse, you see it above my head. It is Women of Faith. Liberate your sexuality. Women of Faith. Liberate your sexuality. Okay. Women of Faith, liberate your sexuality. So what are we talking about here, okay? First off, let me introduce myself for those of you all who do not know who I am. I am Miss B, Bianca Miss B Lee. I am former recording artist turned entrepreneur. Excuse me. I teach entrepreneurship. I also am a life and purpose coach. I am a nonprofit organization founder and CEO. And director. I am an awards platform co-founder. I am the CEO of 2 other businesses. And even if you follow me, you already know I'm an author of my first publications, Make Up With Yourself. I am currently working on 2 and 3. Okay. One is a journal to the Make Up With Yourself, and the other is a book that me and my matriarchs and my mom and my aunts are, collaborating on too. We've been working on talking about those things or whatever the case. So getting that out to you in honor of my grandmother, their mother. So working on a couple of things simultaneously, but we're doing some things, y'all. Okay. But what you all may not know, some of you all do know, but some of you all may not know that I am an intimacy coach as well. Okay. Intimacy coach. What is that? That is one that discusses with either one person or partners the art of intimacy and how to connect with your mate intimately. Okay. Talking about the openness of it and how you can actually, how to engage each other, how to listen to each other, how to have those conversations. Because a lot of people don't even know how to engage in the topic of intimacy with their spouse without making it very awkward. Okay. Let me get these fringes out my eyes so I can see y'all. Okay. They don't know how to have those conversations without making it awkward. Oftentimes, a lot of the miscommunication, even a lot of wedges in relationships, stem from the lack of compatibility sexually. Okay? Lack of compatibility sexually. All right? Now, that's probably because a lot of people are not listening to their mates. They're not having those conversations. And if you are having the conversations, you're giving them what you think they want, as opposed to connecting with them and giving them what they have need of. Okay. That oftentimes that is the art of like learning your mates, their love languages. Actually, all of us enjoy all five. Okay, all of us do, but there's some of us, we have some dominant, act of service, quality time, touching and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Gift giving and all of those things. So yours may be dominant in another, but we all have need of all of it. But when you are intimate with your mate, intimacy, into me, see into me, when you see into yourself and or see into your mate, that's a different kind of gift giving. That's a different kind of communication. Okay. And a lot of people just don't take the time to do that. Right. So I had to talk about that, and then also talk about what I also do. And just paired up with that, and if need be, I am a certified dominatrix. What do you mean by that, Miss B? I am someone that will show you how to get that partner to react and respond based on learning what they need. Okay? Because again, some of us are very squeamish. Now, today we're going to talk about why we are squeamish. If you all know me, a lot of people on Facebook, Instagram, y'all know I came from the church house. A lot of us came from the church house. All right. Also, too, note this is not just me talking. At any given point, you can raise your hand on Clubhouse. Come on up so you can give your feedback for sure. And then at any given point on Facebook, YouTube, not Instagram, Twitter. I wish Instagram would actually allow us to go live for longer than an hour. That would be great. Okay. But if you all want to come up or raise your hand and speak or whatever the case and give your contribution, you are more than welcome to do so. Okay. But let's go back to the church house. I was an avid church goer. I was born in the church. I didn't have a choice. Okay. I don't know how many of us actually did. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know how many of us actually had a choice if we came out and our parents sat us down and said, now we go to church every 7 days a week, all day, every day. Okay. Would you like to participate, or is there a faith that calls more to you and we can support you in that? How many of y'all had this conversation? I don't, please raise your hand if you had it. If your parents gave you that choice on whether you wanted to be, religious, if you had good religion or not. Okay. I did not have that choice. So I was kind of, forced, like many of us, to go to church all the time. When I went to church, I learned the things that I needed to learn. I learned the Bible. I learned, different things, but I also learned some things that I had to later unlearn. One being, now we ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole because it is a rabbit hole. I tell you the truth, right? But there are some things. That's right. Mr. Goddess on Clubhouse said we didn't have to be religious, right? I'm grateful for that. Now that's good. She had a choice, okay? She had a choice. I didn't. I didn't have that choice. I'm telling you now. Welcome everybody. I see you coming in. Welcome. Go ahead and share. Go ahead and go ahead and like, comment, or do all of those things. Okay. When I was in church, one of the biggest things, especially for girls, that was hammered into our head is don't be fast, don't be promiscuous, don't be, hanging around the boys, don't be. Don't be this, don't do that. Cross your legs when you sit like a lady, dress like a lady, ladies don't dress like that. Wholesome ladies don't do that. But not one time did I get a conversation about what we do. Can somebody tell me what we supposed to do? Because all of the don'ts, that leave little do's. Okay. I don't know what it is about the church that has hindered the ability to be expressive sexually. Okay? Automatically, what are we told? I know I was told, don't be a Jezebel. Honey, listen, wearing red lipstick, you was called the whore of Babylon, huh? Wearing red fingernails, wearing a skirt just above your knee. Those things damned you to hell, huh? Doing those in the church. You had to be doused with Western oil. Western oil is a Western oil, cooking oil, vegetable oil, whatever the oil. Huh? You had to be doused. You had to be sanctified, purified, holified, okay? Crispity, crunchy, fried. All of that. If you ever showed sign of a promiscuous woman, or if you showed sign that you were going to be, quote unquote, a fast girl, okay? You had to be. Maisha say, not Wesson, girl, Wesson, honey, Wesson. Okay, give me some grapeseed or coconut oil or something good from the skin so I can rub it in or something. I mean, good God. You had to be doused, okay? You had to be deemed sanctified again, holy, what is consecrated, separated for God's use, huh? Because he can't use you if you've been screwing, if you've been humping. Back in the day, the word was juicing, huh? Because God can't use you if you out here juicing, okay? Unfortunately, we were given so many restrictions, and not often enough where we sat down to have an actual conversation about true sexuality, expression in sexuality, understanding in sexuality, and truth about sexuality. We were not given that. Okay. Again, feel free. Those of you all who are watching via video, if you want to come on the screen to share your opinion, you can absolutely do so. Let me know. I'll put that. Matter of fact, let me do it now. I'll do it gradually throughout the conversation too. Those of you all who are on Clubhouse, feel free to raise your hand if you have something to add to it, because I know good and doggone well I'm not the only one whose family had good religion. Okay. And that's another thing too. Religion, I don't have. Relationship with spirit, I do. Okay? I do. I always knew that there was something outside of the bounds of what we were given. I knew that there was more. I just didn't know how to get to the more, because no one around me gave me liberty to find more. Okay? Listen, nobody around me gave me the liberty to find more. Now, trust me. Yes, Leah says, right. There is a difference. There is a difference. Absolutely. Now this is not a diss against my people, because they gave me what they knew. Okay. I'm just going to say that they gave me the things that they knew. Right. So that means these conversations weren't had with them either. So with that being said, the question is, at what point do we start having real conversation? Because I know the kids right now today, you understand what I'm saying? Hey, daughter, hey. I know the children right now today are coming up so confused, so misled, so misguided in the avenue of sex and sexuality, especially those in the church. Hey, Tremaine, how are you, honey? Welcome, welcome. You all come on and sit down, have a seat, give your questions. I just posted the link inside of the comments, and you can share. Please share, like, comment, all of those things. Same thing on Clubhouse, okay? When are we going to start having the conversation, the real conversation? In the walls of the church, or in the walls of spirituality, in the walls of faith? When will we have the conversations? When will we understand or even share the understanding that sexuality is spirituality? Dare I say that to First Lady such and such and such, or Pastor, Minister, Prophet, Evangelist, Apostle, such and such and such. Listen, dare I say sexuality is spirituality? Huh? Maisha said, you need to come and have a conversation with me on losing my religion. Yes, God. Let's get that going. Absolutely. I will be there. Maisha, you let me know, honey. I'm here for the things of the things of the things. Okay. I've been one that never been scared. My mouth always got me in trouble. Huh? But women in history, they never made history by staying quiet and keeping, and sitting like a lady. I disrupt. I come in and tear the place up and leave the pieces for the people to pick up. Okay. I'm going to force a conversation. I'm going to force a conversation because too often we're not talking, especially in our demographic, in our ethnicity. We don't talk. We are anti-conversation. We are anti-communication for whatever the reason. And then add religion on top of that, and you really ain't talking. Because what happens in the house stays in the house, or we don't talk about those things, or you know what I'm saying, or shh, don't let nobody hear, cause we don't want them thinking that we. First of all, why do you care? Why do you care? Secondly, we teach more about what we can't do versus what we can do. My thing is this, and this is what I share with anybody who I speak to with regards to sexuality. Number one, I am sexually liberated. Yes, I am. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to stop my flow. Huh? Nobody. Whoever I'm with, they going to get the business. Period. You know why? Because that is a strength of mine. That is an ability of mine. That is a power of mine. That is a ministry of mine. Oh, yes. There's a ministry behind sexuality. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sexual, the ability to be sexual came with you. It's not, it wasn't sold separately. It wasn't sold separately. Okay. It's not an accessory that you later pick up. It's not an upgrade that you add to your life as you go on in life. No, when you were born, how many of y'all was born with private parts? Okay, private parts. What's so private about the part? How many of y'all were born with private? Either you had a vagina, vulva is the most technical term, or you had a penis. I know I was. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, somebody out here could have been sold separately. Who knows? Huh? Far be it for me to say what you was born with. But I know one of them parts somebody had. Right? So when you had that part, and that part came with you, that means, that means that part was to be put to use, just like your eyes, just like your nose, just like your mouth, just like your ears, just like your fingers, your legs, your toes, your thighs, your stomach. There was use for that part. You had need of that part. That part was meant to do some things. Okay? There are also sensories in that part. Those sensories, when stimulated, bring you a type of feeling, huh? One that gets you, that comes, that Jeremiah said was like fire that shut up in his bones. Huh? Said it won't leave him alone. You hear me? It's one where you felt your help, huh? You felt your help. There are sensories in these parts that bring you stimulation that then results in a climax, a reaction, a response that makes you feel good. So you mean to tell me the creator created you with all of these things that got all of these sensories and triggers, and you mean to tell me you ain't supposed to enjoy that? Sister, first lady, huh? First lady, deaconess. I just, you know what I'm saying? Mother boy. You mean to tell me that you ain't supposed to enjoy all of the things that the creator gave you, but we're also taught in that same thing to appreciate and give thanksgiving, and you know what I'm saying? I enter into his courts with thanksgiving and enter into his gates with praise. So are we supposed to thank the creator for, you know, the blessings and the anointing and the house and the money and the job and the man and the woman and the children and all of the things, but not thank him for the ability to feel and be stimulated sexually? I'm just saying, maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm talking to another creator. Anybody, somebody? Maybe, I don't know. But I know that there is an ability in me to speak without saying a word, with my body language, to bring in, to embrace, to heal, to set free, to deliver. Yes, all sexually. Absolutely. To break chains. Huh? Like Tasha Cobb say, break every chain. You do understand that you ain't got to travail and fall on your face and hoop and holler and cry and wail to break a chain. If you're blessed with a mate, okay, a partner, and you all are compatible sexually, do you understand that when your mate comes in the door, and they're frustrated and they've been undergoing attacks and all kind of stuff, don't you know that you, queen, got the ability and have the tool and the resources to relieve him of stress and strain without saying a word? I'm gonna say what Jasmine Sullivan said on her latest album, Hotels. Sexual healing. Shawnee J on Clubhouse. She hashtag sexual healing. Jasmine Sullivan, honey, and Ari, they say they want to sit on it. Okay? You mean to tell me that's a sin? Furthermore, let me tell you something. And they also say, tell me why you deserve it. Because hello, somebody, they understand that their being, their parts are used and they are a blessing. Huh? They are a blessing. So if I know what I got and I understand the value, right, Lily, own it. Okay. I understand the value of what I have. Yeah, I'm going to ask you, why do you feel that you deserve it? Because everybody ain't deserving of your goods. Turn to your neighbor to the left and the right of you and tap them on the shoulder, whisper in their ear, slap them, high five, and say everybody ain't deserving of your goods. I'm just saying. Because of the fact that you have healing power, you have delivering power, you have the ability with your being, with your part to break chains. Okay. There are so many things that you can get done by way of utilizing your sexual parts. How about women? Through your part, through your passageway is a literal portal from the spirit realm into the physical realm. A literal portal. Your vulva, your passageway, your vaginal canal is a pathway for a child to be brought from the spirit realm, developed, cultivated in your womb space, and crossing the gateway of your vagina into this world. That is a power. That is a power. And so that right there says that our parts are also used for multi-purpose reasons. But if you were not to utilize, if that organ was not to be utilized for pleasure, then why would the sensories be there? Y'all love to say, God don't make no mistakes. Okay, all right. So God don't make no mistakes. So that means that you are supposed to enjoy. You're supposed to be sexual. You're supposed to be liberated. You're supposed to utilize your sexual ability. You're supposed to do these things. Okay? Now listen, you can use it for good or bad. It's up to you. Cassidy said, come on, multi-purpose. You better be multi-purpose. Okay? Multi-purpose coochie. Huh? Listen. You're supposed to do these things. But the problem is, why aren't you? Why have we allowed other people, other rules, other blockages, other restrictions to tell us what to do with our part? Listen, motherboard, First Lady Nim, what gives y'all the right to tell somebody what to do with their organ, with their member? Because listen, no disrespect, or take it how you may, you ain't there about to tell me what I'm gonna do with mine. Okay, I've been with mine since the day I've been here, and I believe that I've been governing mine quite well over the last few years. Okay. Cassidy said, we divine and all that beautiful stuff. And she said, we divine and all that beautiful stuff, but letting a good nut off can be healing too. Period. Because some relief comes immediately when you relieve yourself, when you're relieved of stress. That is the release valve. Okay? You ain't got to say a word. But you know how to hit that release valve. And boom. Mind is clear. Heart is clear. You're able to breathe. They're able to breathe. Peace is here instantly. Okay? How many of y'all understand and have lived it where after you release sexually, peace was still, huh? Peace was still. Peace. Breathe again. Aaron said, breathe again, in the words of Tony. And I just can't figure it out. Hey, don't make me do it. I'm feeling good too. Feeling my help. Okay? All of those things. Aaron said peace. Yes. Peace. All of those things. I don't understand. Honestly, I really do believe that us women, once we give ourselves permission to stand in our full glory, once we give ourselves permission to stand in our full glory. Hey, Miss Marlene. Hey. Y'all come on in. Hit share, like, comment, share. Come on up if y'all got something to say. All right. Raise your hand if y'all got something to say. Aaron says it's the whole look and divine production. Yes, production. Okay. Yes, God. Listen. What is it? What is it that is keeping you from standing in your full glory, woman? You are so filled with all kind of power, all kind of glory, all kind of magnificence. And you are literally sitting on a gold mine. You're literally sitting. Between your glorious thighs is an organ that is meant for you to enjoy. That is meant for you to enjoy. It's meant to be stimulated. even being spiritual. How many of you all have enjoyed and encountered an intimacy session and manifested at the same time? You was able to manifest something. You was able to call something through. You was able to decree and declare a thing while decreeing and declaring on the thing. Huh? You was able to do those things. There is spirituality. There's power behind tapping into your sexual self. There is liberty behind tapping into your sexual self. There is authenticity behind tapping, the freedom to tap in to your sexual self. Some of y'all wouldn't be so uptight if you tapped in more to your sexual self. Just saying. Some of y'all wouldn't be so wound up if you tapped into your sexual self. That's the part I don't understand. That is the part I do not understand why we can't tap into. I'm going to bring some people. Hey, Christina, come on up. I'm going to bring some people up here so you all can share how y'all feel about this. Okay. Aaron says, definitely a manifestation life hack. Listen, it's a manifestation life hack, especially with you if you're with your divine mate, especially if you're with a mate that knows how to manifest and standing in their own divine sexuality too. Where you write out your desires, where you all talk about it. Because see, if you all follow me, then you all have heard this conversation that I had before about the power being in the agreement. The power is in the agreement. Even in the Bible, it says where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. When 2 or 3 are gathered together, Aaron says, I was thinking that earlier. Why are we so comfortable standing in our own way? Why are we so comfortable standing in our own way? The power is in the agreement. So if you link with someone who you agree with, you agree to be with them. You agree that you all stand on the same terms spiritually. You agree that you all can live in the same house. You agree to share bills. You agree to share a bed. You agree to share a meal. You agree to share all of these things, but you can't agree. You mean to tell me you don't think that you can agree sexually and then manifest some things for the union, for individual results, and for your home and household and family? You mean to tell me you can't agree there? Man, please. Miss Marlene said that's the link, communication. Hello? Aaron says she's taking note. Listen. You mean to tell me you can't agree there? There's no agreement there. You're in the wrong if you actually agreeing there, right? The power is in the agreement. If you agree sexually, let me tell you something. I know couples, former couples right now that split because they were not sexually compatible. How I like it swinging from the chandelier and you just like it in the bedroom on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only for 20 minutes, weekly. Like you write it down in the notebook. Y'all write it on the calendar. We're going to have our sexual prowess. We're going to enjoy each other intimately every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meet me in the bedroom. And for approximately from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to about 7:23, we're going to be, Child. Aaron says sexual rituals are needed. They're needed. Now, in the spiritual aspect, in being a spiritual practitioner, okay, you definitely can manifest some things using what is called sexual magic, sexual power, sexual rituals. You absolutely can. Marlene said, nah, she ain't with the setting the appointment. Not the schedule. Not right. Pacific Standard Time would be 4:45. Listen, that's the thing. You all have to understand. You have to understand. You got to have that opening there. Okay. I don't know if you all are familiar with the chakra system. The ones that we are, because there's many chakras. We just don't all talk about all of them. Okay. There's many. There's not just the 7 that have been popularized. There's more. Okay. Aaron said, not on the fridge. That's hilarious. Yes, the calendar on the refrigerator where there's a heart. We got a stamped heart on every Tuesday. Yes, ma'am, honey. So we don't forget, okay? Because you got to set a reminder for your rendezvous with your boo every Tuesday. All right. So when you have those times with your mate, you're actually coming together to enjoy them, number one, but you're also coming together to do like some healing, to do some loving, some touching, all of those things. That is your sacral chakra. That's sacral chakra stimulation. The chakra system I was talking about, you have the 7 popularized chakras, okay? From the root up, from the root, that's the first one, your root chakra. That is below, that is I think below your groin area, it's in your seat area, right up in there. Okay? And so that root chakra is where your foundation is formed. That's where your foundation is formed. Each chakra has about a 7-year development stage. Okay? And so from day 1 to year 7 of our lives, your foundation is being built. That's where your understanding comes from. That's where your morals and all of those things. Yes, Aaron said that's such an intense energy without the manipulation of energy. Yes. Okay. And so in that area, again, is where your foundation is formed. That's where you teach that child. That's where the conditioning happens. Now you can condition them with the status quo stuff, or you can condition them with information that will aid in their being free to think, free to feel, free to know, free to understand at their own pace. Also, those are the years where you see what they are naturally gifted at okay? That's when you learn, like say for instance, the toddler is just dancing all the time, whether music on or not, they just dancing. You just see them dancing, spinning around in circles, just dancing. And then you conditioning. This is conditioning. Now pay attention to what they naturally do. Dancing around. The conditioning would say, stop all that dancing. Stop all that. Sit down. Every time we turn around, you somewhere dancing. And so before you know it, the more that baby hears stop dancing, guess what they're going to start doing, getting used to? Not dancing. And every time they think about dancing, they're going to hear yo yelling and fussing in the background, in the back of their head, saying stop. So right there, you're setting the foundation that dancing is a bad thing to do. These are very little things that we pay attention to, that we do, that we know. These are big things, or little things that we big things that we consider little, that we don't pay attention to, that we're doing to the child. These are the years the foundation is being formed. From day 1 to 7 years old. And we're just stop, don't, hush, move, sit down, go over here, whoa. We barking. That's when all of the barking is done, and then they are formed, and they are just cultivated. They are being programmed, building the subconscious mind. Leah Willis says on Facebook. That's where you're building the subconscious mind. You're telling them, you're conditioning them. Can you imagine how free a child would be if they were just simply allowed to be a child? If they wanted to play, At the moment of them wanting to play, they could play. If they wanted to sing, at the moment that they wanted to sing, they were allowed to sing. If they wanted to draw, at the moment they wanted to draw, they were allowed to draw. Those things are not paid attention to enough. If you see your child feels the need to draw all on the walls and all of this and all of that or whatever the case, don't spank them. Don't fuss at them. Give them a sketchbook and some crayons and let them draw. Just tell them not on the walls. You're forming the foundation. Then comes sacral. Sacral is from year 7 to 14. Somebody please tell me, at what age did you start getting horny? Somebody tell me. It was around those times where you started, paying attention to the fact that you got a little wee-wee, or you got a little, what the elders say, pocketbook, a little pie, little pocketbook, little cake. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to understand how it works. Okay? You get, Aaron says, child. Leah says 10 years old. Okay. It's around those years from year 7 to 14 that you start peaking and getting interest. Not only that, you start liking boys, you start liking girls. Okay? Marlene say 12. You start developing. Hey, honey, come on in. Have a seat, share. You start developing, honey. You start getting little bumps on your chest. You start, getting a little training bra. You start having your period. Tremaine say from 10, either 10 or 12. Okay, the boys start having wet dreams. Okay, they don't know what this substance is. They don't know what this is. What's this? They start touching on themselves. They start feeling, and then that's when they discover, wait, that feel good. Then they start hiding. Then they start taking little, back in the day, it was the Jet Beauty of the Week. Child, I'm telling my age, but it was the Jet Beauty of the Week. Okay. or they got a little crush on the little boy at the school, or got a little crush on the little girl at the school. And then they start seeing little grown-up stuff on TV. Huh? they on Facebook cracking up, y'all. Listen, they start seeing little stuff on TV. All right, they see grown-ups kissing. Okay, right? Leah say ashamed of the feeling. Aaron say my nerves is getting bad, girl. This is normal stuff. Y'all know. Okay. A little boy want to hold your hand, your palms sweaty. Like one of my spiritual sons say, the leaky armpits. Okay. Tremaine said, she said it start feeling good to you. What's this feeling? What is this feeling? But they can't come to you. They can't come to you because you have not opened a door and made an open platform for them to do so. They so used to, from 1 day to 7 years, you fuss and stop, don't go here, up, jump, dog, cat, move. So by the time they reach 7 to 14, you have conditioned them that it's wrong to do anything. So I know I can't come to you about what this feeling is. Period. Because you've programmed them not to be able to be free. And they're accustomed to you not talking to them about stuff. Aaron said she was going to town. Do you hear me? Girl, listen. But who was there to actually coach you through those things? Talk you through those phases. Actually talk you through what these emotions are. So that you can, in a healthy way, in a knowledgeable way, actually own and stand in those. Get comfortable with these feelings. Get comfortable with this understanding, the teachings, and the part that you were blessed with when you were born. This is yours. This is how to treat it. This is how to pay attention to it. When your penis does this, when it releases this fluid, this is what that means. If your vagina is bleeding, this is what that means. If your vagina, if your clitoris is hard, this is what that means. Who had these conversations? Roaming spirit, Aaron says, trial and error, learn to use discernment in this area. Here's the thing, trial and error. So because of lack of conversation, because of lack of understanding, we were forced to learn by way of trial and error. Trial and error. That trial and error experience not only taught us about, the uses of our private parts, but it also came with a side effect of low self-esteem, insecurity, low self-image. Aaron said heavy on the error. Heavy on the error. Heavy. Insecurity. Low self-esteem. Low self-image. Because just like no one taught us the proper use of or the proper ability to be sexual in a healthy way, they also didn't teach us about how to maintain self-esteem and how to because they was too busy barking of the things that we ain't supposed to do. Okay? Right. Aaron said no one likes to talk about insecurities. Nobody likes to talk about insecurities. No one. But that's where it all develops. When the baby girl starts to form breast, she already feeling like her body is giving her all types of blues, okay? What is going on? Why can't I, or why the boys picking at me? Ain't nobody having these conversations. No one's talking about why it's good to tap into your sexuality. Tremaine said, yes, I definitely struggle with low self-esteem for a long time. You understand me? Aaron says, and why are you telling the world your baby's womb is active? What? That's enough. Can we talk about it? Now, that was one of the things that we read when we read the book Pussy Prayers, okay? That's one of the things that you can't do either. Form that intimacy time. Form that bond with your child and keep that child's sacred reverence by keeping their business to yourself. Create an open door for you to talk to your child about these things, and then keep that conversation sacred. Okay, father, son, mother, daughter, mother, son, father, daughter, because hello, we need them conversations too. Father need to be talking to daughter about what a good candidate for them should be. Mother should be talking to son about how to treat. How to treat someone. How to love someone. How to be gentle. Okay? How to cultivate both the masculine and feminine parts of them. Because in everybody, there is a masculine and feminine part of you. It is the duality. And it's necessary. If you're too passive, if you have too much femininity in you, then you're definitely going to be someone's doormat. For sure. Because to be feminine means to be soft and gentle and warm and forgiving and loving and compassionate and encouraging and motivating and loving light and just hugs and bosoms. But then to be masculine is to be protective and assertive and mean what you say it with your chest. Understand discipline, okay? All of that. You're not about to play with me today or tomorrow. That type of energy. Both are necessary. And so that's why both parents, not talking about they ain't got to be in the same house, but both parents are necessary because they bring different understanding. But here's the thing. This is where wires cross. What if that parent don't have that understanding for themselves? Okay. Because quite as it's kept, the reason that the child is here is because they really didn't understand how to work, and know what they was doing, and they didn't know how to choose properly, and they didn't, I mean, it's all a whole thing. Okay. So between the years of 7 and 14, that's when that sacral chakra, baby, is being formed. That's where creativity is being formed. Let's talk about that. If you're sexually blocked, your creativity is blocked. Okay? If you're sexually blocked, so is your creativity. But sister such and such said, if you're sexually restricted, then you're also limited in other areas as well. Aaron says Sacral Chakra Sundays. Yes, God. Come on with it. Sacral Chakra Sundays. I'm about to look it up. I'm about to look up exactly what areas of the sacral, what areas does the sacral support? Let me see. What does the sacral chakra? Somebody typed in, what does the sacral chakra do? That's hilarious. Okay. Tupac said it, and then the men understood. Listen, Tupac said it, then the men understood. That's hilarious. Okay. So, and this reference, this is coming from www.healthline.com. Okay. Healthline.com. Sacral chakra. Hold on. It says the sacral chakra is believed to be the second chakra in the human body. Okay. It says it's thought to govern how you experience sexuality, creative expression, emotions, and more. So maybe some of y'all create all these rules as, emotionally you stopped up too, and you ain't really been able to have a release. Some women, and I'm gonna say this too, unfortunately, some women in the church are some of the most abuse taken, battered, mentally, verbally, emotionally abused women ever. Let's talk about it. So because they're restricted from being who they really desire to be, and they've been muzzled and muted for so long that now they've conditioned themselves that this is the way that it's supposed to be, because unfortunately love has looked like this all of their lives. So this is what I know because mama said, or because my husband said. Boom. Leah said it. Religion. And then you wonder why you can't create like you normally create. You wonder why you can't move like you normally could move. You wonder why dancing is foreign to you. You wonder why drawing or singing is foreign to you. You wonder why expressing yourself you can't do. How many women of old, with respect to ancestors, with respect to those of you all, our mothers, our grandmothers, and things like that, how many of you all have experienced and or seen your mother or the matriarch or your aunts, your sisters, whoever, be muted by their partner? Like literally, hush. Like literally, be quiet. I'm not talking to you, or go somewhere. Find something to do. Go do I've seen it. I've heard of it. I've experienced it. I'm just saying. When that happens, you're shutting off and causing a blockage there. So the person is not able to express emotionally, freely, as they desire, as they need to. Emotionally, they're in a disarray. That's when the sacral chakra is blocked. There's no release there. Some of you all have wanted, or once upon a time, you used to be so free in your creativity. You used to be so free in your expressiveness. You used to be so this, and because you have not exercised that muscle in years, it's blocked. Aaron said, you're unlocking a realm for me. Yes, ma'am. There's a freedom. There's a freedom. There's a liberty to be that dwells in that sacral area. There's a voice there, especially for my divine women, my divine feminine. There's a voice. We've talked about this on several occasions. We've talked about this, about how it's important to listen to your womb space. Guess where your sacral is? Okay? We've talked about that, the importance of that. Listening to yourself. When you have a thought, you pay attention to that thought. Okay? When you have a thought, you pay attention to that thought. If you have feelings, if you have something going on emotionally in you, in your heart space, you pay attention to that. If your body feels a way, you pay attention to that. So you mean to tell me that if you're stimulated, or if you're feeling something in your sacral area, in your groin area, in your gifted area, you mean to tell me you're denying yourself of that conversation, that dialogue between you and your member? Intention with spirit gifts. You're denying yourself the conversation. You're denying yourself the liberty to be expressive, to speak in that way that you need to be spoken to, or to speak how you need to speak. Some of you all are some hardcore, cold-blooded freaks, but you can't express how freaky you are because you're scared of what Joe Blow or Sister such and such gonna have to say. Deacon Jimmy and Sister Beulah. Some of you all enjoy wearing lingerie and garters and all of those things, but you dare not, because you don't want your mate, your partner, because he's so religious, you don't want him to think you a whore of Babylon, or you a promiscuous, or you this and you that. So you deny that part of you. Marlene said, pay attention to your feelings. Know yourself. Know yourself. You want to be as sexually liberated as you want to be. Okay? They worried about what people got to say. They worried about what people got to say. And again, when did that come about in our lives? Being worried about what people got to say. That started in the day 1 to year 7. That was developed between the years of day 1 and year 7. And Tremaine said, you preaching real good right now. I'm just saying. Some of you all are truly repressed sexually because you keep denying yourself, because you're worried about what somebody is going to say or think of you. The church, your partner, your children. Matter of fact, it's your children that need to see that you're open and that you're free, that you're creative, that you're expressive. They need to see that, because you being free teaches them how to be free. When they see that you're free, it allows them to be free. Aaron said we're addicted to the familiar spirits, and we are. And we are. Leah said, talk to me, honey. Am I in your living room? Girl, go pour me some sweet tea. I enjoy it. Okay? That's just what it is. We're so addicted to the familiar spirit we become. Why? Because repetition causes us to create a habit in that thing. I say it all the time, you sow a thought, you reap an action. You sow an action, you reap a habit. So if you continue to do an action, if you continue to be told to do something, if you continue to be shown how to do something, if you continue to be condemned for doing something, so often that repetition is going to cause you to habitually do this thing. And then when you create a habit in doing something, then it'll become your lifestyle. And if you create a lifestyle in doing something, it's going to become your destiny. And then you're going to leave here being repressed and not being able to fully step into all that you were born to be. I can see if we'd have picked up a newfound libido. I can see if we picked up a new surge of ecstasy. No, this came with you. This was part of your package. You know how we get an IKEA? IKEA is known for this, right? You know how we get an IKEA piece of furniture and they come with 1,000 and like a jigsaw puzzle, 1,000 pieces. But IKEA gives you a couple of extra screws because they know at some point you're gonna lose one. So for the user-friendly people, they're gonna allow you some grace and give you an extra screw or two. You didn't have that extra piece just in case. No, that part came with you. Aaron said guided plus thought management plus action plus habit equal habitual blessing, period. Being taught how to do something, that's guided the proper way. Thought management, being taught how to manage your thoughts, okay? And then creating a habit via action results in habitual blessings. Period. We're taught these things. Cassidy says, on Clubhouse, she says, I realized I've been a freak my whole life, and honestly, I understand myself so much better now. Period. And on top of that, stop looking at the word freak as something being bad. It's a word, okay? It's a word. And unfortunately, we've allowed other people and their stigmas to make a word be given a definition, and then we see ourselves, and if we're called a freak, then it's automatically something negative. No. Meg the Stallion said, big old freak. Big old freak. Okay? Big old freak. Aaron says, Scorpio by nature. Things get dark in the freaky realm for me. That's what she said. Listen, Scorpios are dangerous. Dangerous. And whoever, she said, wait, Maggie? Yes, Maggie, honey. Whoever is with a Scorpio, baby, get your back brace is all I'm saying. Cassie said, I can choose what type of relationship I want from a person. I don't always have to seek love. Sometimes someone is in my life just to help me with some chakra activation, period. If you know what I mean. Yes. Because there's a purpose for everybody, and everybody ain't meant to be, you know what I mean? Aaron said, possessive with the freak need. Possessive with the freak need. Toya say, hey, my birthday, she's a Scorpio too, so Toya know, okay? Toya know, big old freak. Big old freak, all right? Period. So you all understand. Back break took me out. Back brace. Listen, get you a back brace. I'm telling you. If you got your partner, if you know and you are able to communicate freely to your partner, if you're able to be your true free self with your partner, then they would understand. Now, if you too much for your partner, conversation would say that, and then you all can bid each other adieu. You all can go your separate ways and say, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we absent one from another. It is what it is. No love lost. You know, no love lost. But your partner is someone that you can communicate with on all fronts. Your divine partner is somebody that you can communicate with on all fronts. Not just financially. Not just intellectually. Not just domestically. Like you know how to cook and he know how to, fix cars or something. Cut the grass. Not just morally. Not just spiritually. On all fronts. So you understand how to communicate with me sexually. Leah say, where's my divine partner at right now? Okay. She say, cause period. A divine partner, a divine mate knows how to communicate with you on all fronts. Because guess what? When you are down, they got what it takes to pick you up. Period. And vice versa. Okay? And vice versa. When you are down, they have what it takes to pick you back up. And vice versa. It's not just a one-way street. When you are divinely partnered. That's why I say God don't pair people. God pairs purpose. God don't pair people. We pair people. We look at the little, you know what I'm saying? We look. Aaron say he probably drinking coconut water, sis. He probably somewhere drinking coconut water, getting ready for you. Okay? Cleaning that system out and getting ready for you, bruh. Okay? God don't pair people. God pair purpose. We pair people. We do. And if you were open and expressive and free to be in your most vulnerable sacral way, sacred sacral way, then you would be able to understand who's for you and who's not. That way you ain't just loosely giving yourself away to just anybody. Because it is an energy exchange. Are y'all ready for that conversation or no? Okay. I got more people on Facebook and YouTube that is viewing and interacting than I do on Clubhouse. But it is what it is. Clubhouse has an avenue where they're they do replays and stuff like that, just like every other platform. Free to be. She said, my lesson for the day. Yet listen. Okay. Listen. There are certain things that you should be allowed to do. Okay, Jay. Hey, honey.
Hi, Miss B.
Hey,
how are you?
I am wonderful, girl. Did you not have to raise your hand, girl? You just popped up here like who? Like when?
I did. I did. You invited me up, and I'm cooking.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you finish. I'll be back.
No. Okay. Go ahead. So yes, honey. That's just. I mean, y'all want to talk about the energy exchange? You want to talk about how your fluids are sacred? Whether you're male or woman watching on here. Okay? Your fluids are sacred. That's why there's healing in that part of you. Okay? Your fluids are sacred. That's why there's healing in that part of you. Your fluids are powerful. That's why manifestations can happen from that part of you. Period. Y'all don't want to talk about the Kemetic times, the Egyptian times, which was way before Christ, Mary, and JoJo. But again, we don't want to talk about those things because far be it for me to bust up your religiousness. Aaron says, indulge righteously without manipulating the fluid, please. Okay? Far be it from me to interrupt and bust up your religiousness and your conditioning. But using her sacredness, we had a deity, a goddess in the Kemetic times to bring her husband back to life long enough to impregnate herself because he was deceased. Her and her sister got together. Her and her sister got together. They found all of his pieces because he was chopped up and tossed in the river. They found all of his pieces, put him back together. She did what Jasmine and Ari told us to do, sit on it. So she sat on it. She was impregnated. Immaculate conception. Does this sound familiar to anybody? No. Huh? Way before, December 25th, when Christ was born and he was laid in a manger at the end, given the gifts and frankincense and myrrh and gold from the three wise men, aka the astrologers, and that's a whole nother story. God forbid we talk about astrology in the Bible. Oh, okay. Because that's another thing that's, that's witchcraft and we ain't supposed to do. Okay. Ooh, it's the religious stuff for me. It's the religious stuff for me. Aaron said the oyster crackers are good, no shade. It's the religious stuff for me. That conditioning, boy. That conditioning. Got you thinking things you ain't supposed to be thinking. Got you believing things you ain't supposed to be believing. Got you restricted. That's why you can't be free. You can't be your full free self. You can't be fulfilled. You can't fulfill your purpose. You can't find what that purpose is. You don't know who you are. You're walking around just blind and don't know what's going on in your life. Why? Because you've allowed yourself or you've been forced into conditioning. And you've been so conditioned that to learn better would make you feel like you going against. Because you better not talk about my Jesus. Okay? Sexual healing, sexual understanding, sexual respect and reverence, sexual. She sat on it, she got impregnated, and she went out there and she had a son. I'm not giving you names at all because I want you to go and learn them so that you can purge some of this old thinking and you can actually give yourself a proper education. Even the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. You go and study to show yourself. She was riding like a rodeo. Absolutely. Study to show yourself. Now it's good to go, do not forsake the dwelling together of brethren. It's good to have a community. It's good to have people that you can, relate to and be accountable to and for. It's very good to do those things. But at the same time, what are they feeding you? But if you study for yourself and then you go to that body of people, and then what you're studying, they're not teaching, or they're teaching you something different to make you not be free in what you've studied and what you know to be true, is that a place that you should continue to go? I'm just saying. Leah says, I feel like I'm living in someone else's beliefs because you probably are like the rest of us was. We were taught by people who didn't know and weren't free themselves. Let's talk about it right now. We were taught the things that we were taught by people who didn't understand what being free meant too. They didn't understand it for themselves. You got conditioned, teaching, conditioning, teaching, conditioning, teaching, conditioning, teaching, conditioning. That was what, 5 generations? I just broke down. You got conditioned, teaching, conditioning. And then that conditioning became conditioned and taught conditioning. And then they became conditioned, and then they taught conditioning to their children as well. So at what point will we teach? No, will we first learn and then teach freedom? Freedom to embrace all that is you. Freedom to be all that you are meant to be. Freedom to discover every element of you, and free to stand in all of those elements simultaneously, fully, and own it. Freedom to do these things without condemnation, without shame, without guilt. That freedom. That freedom. We weren't taught it because they didn't know it. So that's why now it's very imperative for you to understand what that means. For you to understand what that looks like. For you to understand what that feels like, because you're so deserving of all the things. You're deserving of all the things. Do you know how much happier you could potentially be if you got it on a regular basis? If you were able to be intimate and have sex with your mate on a regular basis and release on a regular basis, do you understand how much freer you could be? Stress well. You got a bill due, Marlene. You ain't worried? Worry well, child, please. My husband just gave me some good old, huh? What I'm mad for? What I'm worried about? Child, please. My wife just put it on me. Let me pull up on ya. Leah said, I remember those days. Listen, I'm about to pull up on you. And then pull up in you. And sit up on you. Whatever, however you want to do it. Okay? Or stand up over you. Or stand up in you. In the words of Sir Charles. Slow roll it. Stroke it with the motion. That's a word. It's Sunday, and I just gave a word to somebody. Slow roll it. Stroke it with the motion. Slow roll it. It ain't what you got, it's how you use it. That's what it's saying. That's the word. That's the benediction for today, Sunday, April 3rd. It's the consistency for, okay, I hear that. That's what you all need to understand. Understand that you are deserving of it. Understand that you have permission. Understand that it is your right to be free sexually. It is your right to be free intimately. It's your right. Okay? It's your right. Marlene said that is a word. Honey, it's your right. It's your right. And that's what people are not understanding. Not at all. It's your right to be free. It's your right to heal sexually. It's your right to be healed sexually. Because some of us are restricted and closed off because of things that we've encountered, because of abuses that we've encountered. Okay, because we allowed wrong people inside of our sacral space, and then they downloaded some polluted fluids, and then it caused a reaction in us. Not to say that theirs is polluted. Because of the incompatibility, it was polluted. It was pollution for you. You know how some people can eat fresh cherries, but some people can't. They become allergic. But some people, it's fuel to their bodies. The thing is a good thing. But finding out if it's a good thing for you is the question. You know how you can find that out? Discernment. Talking, having a good conversation, and understanding how to listen with your ears and your spirit and your first eye, which some call your third eye. It's your first one. How to pay attention to, that gut feeling. All of those things. All of those things. Developing in your inner ear, developing in your heart space, developing in your discernment, developing there so that you can know by your spirit. You can know them by the spirit, not by their wordplay. Because anybody can say anything, not by their status, not by their wallets or whatever. Because anybody can show anything. They can bend and borrow their friend's car and tell you that it's theirs. So we're trained to give our representation, okay? But your discernment, being developed in your discernment, in your spirit, that'll tell you everything you need to know if you pay attention. But some of us, because we're underdeveloped in those areas, in that sacral area, we're underdeveloped. So it causes us to make wrong choices. Okay. Marlene said, yes, your spirit will not lead you wrong. It will not. The problem is we don't pay attention to it. We do not listen. We do not listen because we weren't developed. We weren't trained to listen to our spirit, to ourselves, to our sacrals, to our root space, to our heart space, to our throat, to our first eye, to our crown, to spirit. We weren't taught those things. We were taught to do as I say, not as I do. We were taught to speak when only when spoken to. We were taught to, stay out of grown people's mouths. We were taught to hush and go play. We was taught to. We were developed that way. Our foundation was set that way. That's what we were taught. That's what we were taught. So, how do we become free? How do we become free? Number one, ladies and gentlemen, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, until you first know what you like, you cannot. There's no way. There's no way for you to be able to tell others what you like. Hello, hello. Welcome. Until you first understand what it is that you like, you will not be able to communicate with someone at all what you like. That's going to require you getting to know you. Into me, see. In order for you to be able to show someone how to see into you, you got to first develop a habit of seeing into yourself. You don't know intimacy with somebody else until you first know intimacy with yourself. You don't know how to tell somebody what you like until you first learn for yourself what you like. You can't communicate with somebody about where to touch you and how to touch you unless you first understand where to touch you and how to touch you. But religion will teach you something else. You ain't got to like me, honey. You ain't got to like me. But you know, when I'm telling the truth, I'm telling the truth. Ain't nobody talking about this on Sunday morning, huh? What church? And if they is, let me know where they at. I know one church, one church, one church that teaches this in real rap raw style, and that is a church in Chicago, in Cicero, Illinois. That is pastored by someone, pastored and first lady by someone, the two that I used to sing with, that I used to record with, that I used to travel with. And that is Lifeline Church, main campus. They have a Mexico campus. They have a South campus. Lifeline Church, main campus, Cicero, Illinois. Pastors Reggie and London Royal. They gonna give it to you real rap raw. And I love it. And I love it. I tunes in, honey. I even support their members and everything. Somebody says, I remember asking my mother about sex. The first thing she beled, okay, was the Bible said not to do it. The Bible said don't do it, is what her mother told her. She said, I was just trying to get answers. The Bible your mother told you that the Bible said don't have sex. I almost want you to call your mama and ask her what passage of scripture, not scripture, scripture. What passage of scripture did your mama say that verse? I need the chapter, verse. I need the book, chapter, and the verse. And I'll look it up in every translation. Tell her to find me that, please and thank you. Because the Bible that I done read before, the Bible that I'm quite familiar with, has a lot of, I'm telling you what the reference was in the Bible. And he knew her. Every place in the Bible that reads, and I quote, and he knew her. That was Bible for he got down, he dug her out, he poked her, he stabbed her. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, honey. Says she didn't. I was a teenager, so I didn't go any further with it. And it reads here. I'm not sure who you are that's posting, or who's giving a comment, because it just says Facebook user. So you're probably viewing from a private group or a private page or something like that. So you gotta be able to see who you are. Okay. It says, and he knew her, and he knew her. That's when you knew there was sex happening in the Bible. In the Bible. In the beginning, in the beginning, okay. Oh, hey, Josh. Yeah, you must be watching from Miss B After Dark. You got to come to the public. In the beginning, he knew her. Okay, that's when you knew they was having sex in the Bible. How do you get to the place where I think it was in Proverbs or Psalms where David begat Solomon and Solomon begat this one and begat, what you think begat means? What you think begot? Somebody be humping in order to beget and begat. They be humping. Furthermore, let's talk about the congregation of the church. Somebody tell me, please and thank you, how did the congregation grow so rapidly? Where did the congregation come from? The members of the congregation got here how? Oh, okay. Funny thing is, for a child, as a child, to ask the parent about sex, and the parent say, you ain't supposed to do it, then how, pray tell, am I, the child, here asking you the question? What happened? Which stork company dropped me on the doorstep? Because you know that y'all love to tell that stork story. I just need to know. I just need to know. Somebody somewhere doing it. So is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to remain in secrecy? Secrecy? Is it supposed to remain in secrecy? Are we supposed to talk about, our faces? We out here beating our faces. We out here slaying our hair. We out here adorning our necks. We're out here snatching our waists. We're out here lifting our breasts. We're out here, pulling in and bulking up our arms. We're out here, showing our stomachs and getting 6-packs and 4-packs. And some of us with K's. Mind your business. We out here lifting our legs, showing our legs, got splits in our skirts, wearing the leggings, wearing the tighties, wearing the, you know what I'm saying? The fitted this, spandex that. We out here getting manicures, pedicures, wearing our toes, got the stilettos, got the high tops, got the Crocs. We got all of the things out loud, publicly. So we're able to do these things publicly, but when it comes down to sex, spraying the good smell, you got butt lifters and Brazilian, and what you call it, BBLs and all of that, lipo, and we out here publicly doing all of those things. But when it comes to sexuality, we got to keep that quiet. We're taught and conditioned to be ashamed of that. We're taught and conditioned to only do that behind closed doors, only express that behind closed doors. We're not supposed to talk about that in the public, because if you do, then people will. Anytime you start a conversation with that, a sentence with that, people will. You don't want people to, because people. Or let's bring it back to the church. Sister such and such, or deacon such a, pastor such and such might think that's the thing. We got to break away from that. We got to break away from that. The same people are out here having sex too. Quiet as it's kept. Quiet as it's kept. Within the last, I want to say, year or two, it's been some pastors called, TV evangelists out here rolling the camera. They done became a whole superstar. Somebody said the people in the church building are the biggest whores. More specifically, the church band, the church choir, the church. I'm only talking because I know. That's it. I'm only talking because I know. Oh, okay. I mean, y'all know me. Listen. I only do my sugarcoating in the kitchen. I don't do it when I'm talking to y'all. All right. I don't. I only glaze and sugarcoat stuff when I'm baking. That's a whole other business. All right? That's a whole other business. Not when I'm talking to y'all. Not when I'm talking to y'all. She said, that's why I said it, because I know. I'm only talking because I know. Okay? Not only that, went to church. I worked at a mega church. Worked there. Baby, you think the biggest whores is in the congregation? Baby, the biggest whores be on staff of the church. Oh, okay. I'm only saying it because I know. Huh? Y'all said something? Oh, okay. I thought somebody had said something. What happened? Because I thought somebody said something. I thought somebody said something. Some of the biggest whores be in the church. On staff. We done had so much scandal within the last year or two about people in the church known out here living their best sexual life. And see, that's the risk that you run when you're denied your true freedom and your true self in the public eye. You got to sneak and hide. And then 9 times out of 10, you're doing something you ain't got no business doing because you're sneaking to do it. Because we were taught that these things you need to sneak in. You got to do it behind. You got to, that's not cool. Then you get to a place where old school religion, where the two people in the church, they caught having sex or the girl get pregnant, and then you want to publicly humiliate her and put her before the entire church so that the whole church can pass judgment on her when the rest of the church, minus her, was laying up screwing somebody too that they ain't had no business screwing. If we got to call people out and put them on the front of the church, you might as well call everybody up to the front. Half the church was at the club last night. Now they in the choir stand. Half the church out here, I'm just saying. So, but when it comes down to sex, though, you want to publicly humiliate the girl like she was the one that got herself pregnant. Somehow the male get off scot-free. He ain't got to stand in front of the church. Because he ain't the one pregnant. He ain't the one that's going to be out here carrying this baby around and make it seem like being pregnant is a terrible thing. Like she got to regret and be a resentment all 9 months, which if she's feeling it, the baby feeling it, and then the baby having to be forced to come out in this situation and with all types of feelings and energy and negative whatever being passed to them because their mother was made to feel like a whore. Because their mother was made to be, she was called the church slut. Their mother was made to be looked at like she got the scarlet letter on in the church. Because no one is teaching sexuality and sexual expression is spirituality. The church separated it. That's the problem. And then now she has to, every time she walk around the saints, I'm air quoting here for the Clubhouse listeners, the saints got to judge her. She got to come up in here with her child in hand, already under the heaviness of all of the judgment and all of the self thoughts and self-mutilation and self-abuse that she's been forced to have. Then she got to come in here with the saints and be made to feel even worse every Sunday, Wednesday, Tuesday rehearsal because y'all swear that sexuality is a wrong thing. Period. If we taught it more and we connected the dots of sexuality and spirituality, it will become the beautiful, it will be spoken of and reverenced as the beauty that it is. Sexuality is beautiful. Sexuality and sexual expression is amazing. And it should be reverenced as such. Period. Just like you value your words, the words that come out of your mouth. Just like you value the makings of your hands, the things that your hands can create. Just like you value your brain and how it processes knowledge and information. Just like you value your eyes and how it allows you to see and appreciate the colors. And just like you value your nose and how it allows you to smell the sweet aromas of every place that you enter. Just like you value your feet and how it gives you the balance that you need to stand upright or walk and get from to and fro without problem. Just like you value your legs to hold you up. Just like you value your arms to give you reach. Just like you value your ears that allows you to hear every beautiful word, every song, every sound that nature makes, every melody of a chord. You can, all of those things, you need to be able and be given the liberty to value your sexual organ, because it gives you the ability to be stimulated. It gives you the ability to plant a seed. It gives you the ability to form and birth a seed. It gives you those abilities to heal. You should be able to publicly reverence your sexuality. Period. Period. Intimacy. Intimacy. Into me. See into me. Sexually. It is spirituality. Jay, are you there, honey?
I'm here, Miss B. I actually just completed my dinner dish, so
good.
Perfect timing.
Yes,
Perfect timing.
Yes.
I was actually with all of this. It's so funny. I had just spoken to my mother about. I've been trying to reserve my energy lately because I'm dealing with a fractured. Part of my foot is fractured.
I'm sorry to hear that, honey.
Yeah, it took the energy away. But I was telling her I never saw her date anyone. Like, I don't even know what you sound like when you speak to another man. Like, as sad as that is. And I remember being in college, and that was the first time I just began to start talking about sex, like, explicitly. Yeah. Because I was experimenting, and I wanted my mom to know, because your mother is sort of like, she's sort of like your partner in life, right? In a way, in a way. Yeah. And I just started talking about it, and like explicitly. And then she says, "I've been waiting to have this conversation."
Good. Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it took us a long time to get there. It took us a very long time to get there. Mm-hmm. But you know, I would say get around like-minded people who are doing the work to untangle the shame. Yes. Shame is so intertwined in everything we do. Yes. And I remember having an experience in my adult life. I think I might have, it was a couple years ago. I might have been 29. Okay. And I was shamed by this adult woman. And I was like, am I supposed to feel bad about having an adult experience with a man who I was seeing at the time? Yeah. But my mom goes, so did you have fun? I was like, I had a great time. Uh-huh. She's like, that's all that matters.
That's it.
That's all that matters. And my mom is a church going, like,
see?
You know what I mean? Like, I haven't been to church, years. But my mother is like a church going church lady. She sit in the second pew every Sunday.
Okay, come on, second pew.
Second pew, right? And she literally said, did you have fun? And I said, yes. She said, that's all that matters. That's because it was a thing up here. I don't know. California isn't as liberal as it poses to be.
Okay.
And the women here are very sexually bound up.
Wow. I would not have thought that.
No.
Not in California. I would not have thought that at all.
Especially in hippie town of the USA. And I live in Northern California, right outside of San Francisco.
Okay.
Bound.
Wow.
The black women here are bound. Wow. Bound. When I mean everything happens behind closed doors, hush, hush, you're made to feel shame. It's similar to the South.
My goodness.
Like old school South, yeah. So when I came from New York, it was very, to talk about it publicly, it was you got shamed for that.
Yeah.
And this is not, I'm not a teenager or anything.
Right.
Not to say they should be shamed either.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should be properly guided, especially if you have children.
Absolutely.
Into sexual activity.
Yeah.
In a healthy and safe space. But yeah, they're sexually bound here. So to speak about it, it's almost with it's like it's sinister, right? And I don't have that same definition, so I withdrew sexual access from people because I was like, if you believe that, and we're going to be having two different experiences.
Sure. Yep.
Trying to have a certain experience and you're trying to have a certain experience, and you believe it to be this sinister secret thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't committed to anyone, because I'm like, you're not going to shame me. You're not going to shame me in this life, in this human experience.
Wow.
And it's taking me a while, and people always like, why are you still single? And I was like, it's by choice.
There you go.
It's by choice. If we can't have a liberating human experience together in partnership, I don't want it.
That's right.
If I have to perform, and I'm not talking, no pun intended, but
come on, performance.
Right. If I have to perform and be fake and not enjoy it, it's almost like in heterosexual interactions.
Yeah.
Certain men, not all, certain men actually feel powerless when you enjoy sex.
Okay, so break that down.
Listen. Do you really want me to go that deep?
Listen, I mean, you said it, honey. You said it.
Let me turn my Erica Badu down. But no,
Powered by Erica. Powered by.
Exactly. The never mind. I was gonna call her something else. It's all good. I ain't gonna do that to y'all.
You want to talk about sexuality though, and expression. You want to talk about sacred goddess, sacral goddess.
She will mama wata us.
Period. Okay.
Of this conversation.
I'm just saying. I mean, if we want to talk about the things of the things, okay?
Yes. So what I've noticed in certain men is that if they don't have power in society, they try to take it in the bedroom. And they lead with sexual, and it's not even positive sexual energy, because I'm going to be honest. I don't think people are having as great of sex as they claim to be having.
It's the things of the things, you all. Introducing and presenting the things of the things. Talk about it.
I don't think they're having as great of sexual experiences as they claim to be having, because when you have a real, when you have a true energy exchange with someone, it's almost like a day at the spa. Come on, spa. It's a day at the spa. It's aware. It's intimate. It's conscious. It's so intentional, right? It's like not even just pleasure is intentional, but what message am I sending to you during this dance? Yes, this dance. And if I can't dance with you, I mean, I'm just gonna table it, because I can't be sending you messages like that. I can't be, I don't want everybody to have access to, what I'm about to do to you. That's just That's just my opinion. And I wish more women understood the power of dancing. You know what I mean? Because it's a dance, and if you are coming in sinister, if you're coming in not knowing who you are, and you're going to pass that message on to me, and then, you know, I remember being active with people who I shouldn't even had a conversation with.
Come on.
And for months, I was depressed. For months, I was sad. You know, it was a dark time. And I'm like, yeah, I got to stop exposing my spirit and exposing my portal, which you said, Miss B.
Yes.
Which never viewed it as that until you said something. So thank you for educating me.
Girl, yes, ma'am, honey. You are educating the people. When I tell you they are shouting better than you're saying amen right now. Okay? When they are shouting, Facebook is shouting at your words.
I was so depressed, and I didn't know why. And then, you know, Miss B, I've been on stages with you. I told you that, you know, I'm intentionally abstinent at the moment.
Yes.
And only because if I'm going to exert energy physically with someone, it has to be like I deserve to go where I go by myself. I need to go farther with you.
Yeah.
I need to go farther with you than I go by myself.
Yes.
So if I can't go far with you in that experience, then I really don't want it.
Come on.
You know? Ooh. And I said this, I remember going to a church, some church thing. Because I am a part of the church, I just don't go.
Okay.
And they're so cool. They're open-minded. You can come. It's like a come as you are type of congregation, non-denominational, great, you know, whatever. And I said one day, they were having this Zoom sort of like conference or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was a small group, but they wanted to sort of prepare some sort of things that they wanted to teach the congregation. And I said, you know, I never thought that I would, you know, not have sex. Like I was just humping and thumping. You know, they just looked at me like a normal person, because at the end of the day, I said what 10,000 people wanted to say, but really couldn't say. And at one point I did. I was like, oh, I don't think I'm ever going to stop fucking. Like, ever. Because like, I didn't even think I could go this long being abstinent, intentionally abstinent. But like literally it has changed the definition of my life, my productivity. And I think to be a better partner, I think for me too, I just didn't want to spread myself so thin.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
By the time I got to my purpose partner, he's like, you know, what the hell? Like, yes. You know what I mean? I didn't want to burn myself out that way.
Yes.
So I was like, let me come back home to myself really in all aspects. And let me take this a little bit more serious, because this is the type of partnership I want to usher in. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't want to, I just didn't want to spread myself thin, and I didn't want to have my energy everywhere, because after that shaming experience that I had up here, and it was basically, this man had basically told you know, I was talking to Jay and like, we don't talk no more, basically, you know, but like, I don't know. It was so immature. It was, and I was like, yeah, I gotta I gotta be patient, because, you know, in life we deserve to go farther with someone.
Yes.
And that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to, you know, stay stagnant or at the same level with someone. And sexually, I need to go there as well.
Yes.
You know, so it's an exchange, and hey, you got to take care of yourself, and that's one way you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And don't you dare go like juice fasting. Ooh. It's like your whole, I mean, when I mean like energy is in the earth.
Yes.
You want to have a really good sexual experience, try juice and veggie fasting for like 7 days.
Come on here. Connecting yourself back to the things of earth, so that you and earth can become, you know, intertwined. All right.
Yes.
Listen.
Literally, it will have you. I mean, it has me, but
yeah. She said, that's my remedy. That is my medication and prescription. Now you feel free to take it for yourself if you so choose. However,
correct.
Yes.
That 7 day cleansing of nothing but from the earth, like organic, really pure, like what you're feeding yourself and what that does to your body as a woman. And it's not just about, you know, quote unquote, being wet or the texture.
Exactly.
You get energy that you didn't know you had.
Yes. You actually are made familiar with elements of yourself that you didn't know were there as well, because you have opened, you've unlocked some things. When you unlock yourself, when you unlock your sacral self, you unlock cabinets and compartments of yourself. You become more familiar with the things of you. And as long as you keep that area of yourself locked up, behind closed doors, with the blinds closed, shades pulled, curtains drawn, 12 locks and deadbolts, and then you got a vault combination, you know, all of that stuff around that sacral space, you cannot truthfully say, I know myself. Because you don't, until you've unlocked what lies behind door number 2, sacral door. You don't know yourself, because under in that sacral door is your emotional capacity, your expressive capacity, your creative expression capacity, your capacity to feel things is behind that door. So how, pray tell, do you fully know yourself when you haven't fully explored that door? How? And then how are you able to fully know yourself and be able to gain someone and show them how to love you or know you when you are not fully aware of how to know and love yourself? That's all I'm saying. Because we're supposed to teach people how to treat us, correct? How do we teach if we have not first learned? Who's going to make you a professor in a college and courses when you yourself have not taken this course? I'm just saying. I love you too, Maddie. I saw your comment. Okay.
And SB, I think we should just all, like, to start, we should just all slow down. Like, if you're having exchanges right now, I'm not saying stop the exchange,
right? But
you're in midst of whoever you're in midst with, slow down so you can really take in, like, who they are.
Yes.
Like, slow the show down a little bit. Tell them to slow down. Tell her to slow down just a little bit. Slow down. So you can really, like, be present with who am I taking in. Because
that's it.
That's the last exchange y'all have after you slow down a bit. And you really breathe.
It's the dance. It's just what you called it. When you slow dance with somebody, I mean, you just are fully enveloped in the motion and in the movement and in the flow, in the song, in the notes, in each instrument, in the chords, in the everything. You're in it, in the steps, in the arms, in the fabric that you're wearing, in the whatever, in the moment. That is a dance, honey. That is a dance. And when you dance like that and you're appreciating and breathing in every element of this one dance, every realm of you is stimulated. It ain't just your growing, it's every part of you in this dance. In this dance. So in order to do just that, what Jay was just talking about, you gotta embrace the dance. Not run through the dance. Embrace it. Embrace it. My goodness.
It's so funny. There was, and I'm going to end with this story.
Okay,
so
okay.
A guy who recently was telling me how sexually frustrated he was, and I looked at him and I said, I'm picking up something that won't mesh well with our energy, and I don't deserve to starve myself. So if you pick up anything, I don't know who's listening to this, but if you pick up anything in someone's energy that you don't like, don't even invite them.
That's right.
Into your loving bed, okay? Yes. Hashtag Miss Nola Darling, okay? Don't invite them to your loving bed.
Yes.
That energy pickup is real. You know what I mean? So, and I like this person. I think he's a nice person, but I'm like, I can't dance with him. I can't be
That's right.
into him because there's blockages. There's a blockage. But I would have never been able to feel that if I really didn't sink back into myself. So thank you for inviting me.
Yes. You're more than welcome. Thank you for dropping those nuggets, honey. Girl. You talk well today, daughter. You talk well, honey.
Thank you, Mama.
Yes. Okay, Miss Anna, how are you? Welcome to the stage.
Hi, Miss Busy Bee. I'm so excited that you're letting me speak. I love this topic.
Yes, ma'am. She said, Miss Busy Bee, come on here.
So I am interested in your thoughts because I think this is great. First, about women, basically the stages of sexual liberation.
Okay.
Because when I was younger, it was a biological imperative to have intimacy, and it was like I couldn't even sleep sometimes. I just needed to get it in.
Right.
But now that I'm older, in my 40s, I can easily, celibacy is not even, and it's effortless.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's girl.
It's kind of sad. I miss those days of being kind of on fire.
Yeah.
And I also noticed with my circle of friends, when they don't have that intimacy, they supplement it with food, shopping, television.
Yes.
So I'm curious to know your thoughts about being mindful about these periods of not receiving the type of deep, intimate touch that you want. And, I hear a lot of my girlfriends, fibroids, hysterectomies, and I started hula hooping and doing deep womb work because it needs to stay vital. And I think the twerking phenomenon, as corny as it sounds, is a spiritual way to keep that area blood flow stimulated. So let me. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
No. Hold on to your question. Hold on to your question, but I don't want to lose that point right there about the twerking. Right? First off, before it was called twerking, this was the dance of our people in our motherland, in the land of Africa. Okay, we didn't call it twerking though. Then it was that is a sacred movement. But again, religion would teach you otherwise. Okay, and would make you feel ashamed of moving like that. Sacred movement is what Anna was just talking about. Okay, Anna, go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question, honey.
Okay, sacred movement. I would say sacred root movement.
Yes.
The bouncing and the lifting up of that deep inner, for the ladies that know what you can do when you can get at that point.
Come on.
I think that is what is important. And I'm a movement person.
Yes.
And I found that during my periods of celibacy, I had to do bachata, the kizomba, the African dance from I don't know if it's not Uganda. I forgot the country. Somebody can help me if they know the country. It's near Namibia, but it's really a sensual dance. Congo.
Okay.
Where the women are moving their hips. They're isolating and gyrating with their partner, but they're never touching him. And you can go to these dances and meet up with people and do the kizomba dance.
Yes.
And it is an exchange, but I'm concerned, especially for women in the West, Black women, where labor, everything about our bodies has been associated with labor, work, movement. And I think periods of celibacy shouldn't be laborious. It should be joyous.
That's right.
And you should still be able to move that sacral lower body, even if there's nobody to access it. And I'm just curious to know your thoughts or if anybody has anything else to add. And I love this combo. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, honey. Okay. So what I think about that is this. There's going to be periods of time in all of our lives, whether we're in a relationship, in a partnership or not. We're going to have those times where we are unattached. Okay. Unmarried. We are, you know what I'm saying? We're not with a particular person, or we want those quiet times. Those quiet times are spiritual times. Those quiet times are necessary. Those quiet times are required to reset, rebuild, especially if you're in between partnerships, okay? Because we need that time when we're with a person and we're spending that time and we're exchanging energies and we're exchanging fluids, sacred fluids, and we're exchanging all types of stuff and we're with each other for a period of time. If you split and go your separate ways, you're going to have to undo the doings of that relationship out of your spirit, out of your individual, out of your person. You're gonna have to purge some things, because there may have been some not so healthy and not so beneficial things that took place in that dynamic, and then you know what I'm saying, that left you feeling away. So before you transfer your hurt space, your hurt stuff over into another dynamic, you want to purge. And that singleness, that period of not having someone, is necessary for you to purge the old, heal yourself, reconnect with yourself. Okay, reconnect with yourself, enjoy that quiet time, so that you, and don't stop the loving. Don't stop the movement. Because listen, you got to be familiar with yourself. You got to be familiar with you all by yourself. Whether someone else accesses your passageways and your door doesn't mean that you yourself can't stimulate your door. It's your door. Now, of course, you by yourself is going to be totally different from you with a partner, obviously. Okay. However, the way that you keep that area stimulated and keep that area okay and being healthy and given the things that it needs, the attention that it needs, you have to continue the process whether you have somebody with you or not. Because you don't want to leave whether you're capable of being free and whole up to someone, another outside person. You give yourself that permission to do so. So that way, in no season are you without. You may be without the stimulation of another person, but you're not without, period. You may be outside of the touch of another person, but you are not without touch. You're not without stimulation. You're not without conversation, because you can even speak to that area, that sacral area of yourself. Okay? So that's what I feel about that part. Even down to women who have had to have the hysterectomies and stuff like that. Okay? Even those women. Even just because you've had to have a hysterectomy, a partial, or whatever the case, just because you probably weren't able to carry or conceive naturally, queen, you still have a sacral area. You still are someone that needs stimulating. You still are a queen that deserves and desires or has the need to stimulate that space in you. You still have a sacral area that needs attention. Period. Okay. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. Now, was that an answer for you?
Yes, that was beautiful. And
okay.
I have one more question, maybe, and then so Jay brought up a really powerful point that I didn't really pick up on until very recently in my womanhood, and that's detecting the energy of your male partner.
Yes.
On a ethereal level versus just, he's hot, he's a good guy. And I dated a guy who he was uptight, and I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. But I felt that energy that Jay was talking about. And come to find out, he was very nervous about getting someone pregnant, but he didn't want to get a vasectomy. And ended up being with him, and we had an incident occur. Okay. And he was calling me, go get the plan B. Can you please? Because I just don't want it. And I was just like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, he panicked. Rightfully so. Just being honest. But I realized in that moment that he had not come to terms with his responsibility with the union when it comes into a woman. And he was very passive. Like, he let me make all the first moves. And he was addicted to online images of, I don't want to say it, my daughter's in front of me, PORN. Okay. And so I thought, man, this energy thing is real, because I could feel his nervousness, but I didn't believe it because I was so enamored. He was a gentleman. He paid for everything. He was handsome. But when like you said, when the blinds are closed and the doors were locked, those issues came up, and I had to end our union. And he wanted to know why. He wanted to come back, and he thought, we could do this. And I thought, I don't want that energy inside of me if you're going to stress me out every time. You think like you have to handle that. We're 40 something. Go to the doctor, get a snip, leave it, call it a day. So I'm just curious if any other women have tips on kind of feeling that vibration from your partner so that you're, starting off on a good foot. And I'm done.
Well, he's so funny. So, for me, in my opinion, I think it's more so about cultivating your discernment, cultivating that discerning space of yours, our womb space. You know how we talk about, I had a gut feeling. That's your womb space. And if you become familiar with your womb, we're talking about this every Tuesday night where we're reading Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. And she's talking about being able to hear the voice, acknowledge the voice, trust the voice, and reverence the voice of your womb. The more you build that relationship between you and your womb space, then you will understand and recognize her voice when she speaks. And when she speaks and feels a foreign person or a person that, she don't like, it's like the energy of that person, the presence of that person, something about that person. And spirit connects with spirit. Spirit is not fooled by outward presentations. Not at all. My spirit is going to connect with your spirit. My spirit is going to sense your spirit first and foremost before I even understand what we even doing. And so when your spirit speaks to you and you have a gut feeling, quote unquote, that is your spirit trying to communicate something with you. That is you forming, after forming a relationship with your spirit, consistently building that relationship between you and your womb space. That is one of your purposes of the womb. And that is to keep you informed. Okay? Your womb keeps you informed. Your womb is not going to lie to you ever. Ever. Your womb keeps you informed. It keeps you protected. It keeps you safe. It keeps you secure. But half the time, good bit of the time, 9 times out of 10, we women, because we're emotionally ruled, we women tend to ignore that conversation that our womb is trying to have with us. And we go based on our emotions, based on our feelings, based out of our insecure space because we haven't healed in a certain area. Okay? That space right there, that sacred space, that womb space, it is very imperative that we build her up and we get acclimated, I should say, with ourselves in that womb space. That's how you can choose the right mate, because your womb is going to let you know who she likes and who she doesn't. When you are with a partner, you know how, so if you've ever had the experience of anybody, if you've ever had the experience of being pregnant and delivering a child, when your child is ready, only when your child is ready. What's crazy is your child can't even speak yet with words, but your child over the period of time will tell your body, hey, I'm ready. When that happens, your cervix, which is on a regular basis hard, your cervix softens and then moves out of the way, allowing your baby to come through. Any other time, that cervix is a protector that keeps the baby in until baby is ready. When baby is ready, that cervix softens, opens up, moves out of the way, opens the gate to the portal so that baby can come forth. But that cervix is not going to, it ain't going to soften until it's ready to soften, until it's supposed to soften. Okay? That right there is this exact, that is the exact example of your womb protecting you. And then when the right person comes, your womb will soften up and allow that person to enter. Till then, your womb is going to stay hard. We don't listen to our womb enough. Because when we approach certain people, the reason why the relationship can't work is because the womb ain't softened for him or her. So there's always going to be tension and turmoil, and it's never going to, it ain't working. It's a struggle to keep this relationship and da-da-da-da-da. That's because your womb hasn't softened. That person's spirit hasn't welcomed them, or they don't have a welcoming spirit. Whomever you're supposed to be with, your womb will soften and will make way for this person to enter. Get acquainted with your womb's voice. Your womb will protect you. Your womb has never lied to you. Your womb loves you dearly. Your womb knows you. You can't be anything else or anyone else to your womb because your womb knows your truth. The womb knows exactly what you want. The womb will not allow you to give yourself anything than what you deserve. So you would think that sounds like a big love right there, deep love, unconditional love. But oftentimes, what do we do to the things and the people that we love? We tend to push them away out of our own human distortions. Listen to your faculties. They are there to help you. They are there to assist you. They are there to help you make better choices. Okay. Miss Anna, is that your answer?
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You all, this has been awesome. And this needs to not be the last time we have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? This conversation is necessary. And you know where we're going to be having this conversation? This September 8th through the 10th, our very first annual Queen's Gathering, Divine Femininity United. We are hosting our first retreat in Miami, Florida. Okay, Miami, Florida. We are bringing 50 women and girls, and we're going to have an intimate conversation. We're going to get back to the foundations of the old school where elders taught young women, and young women gave hope and vision and things to the older women, where we came together as generations and we actually have these conversations. We actually get back to the root and foundation of our divine femininity. And we adjust each other's crowns, and we shine each other's jewels, and we build each other up, and we edify, and we encourage and motivate one another, because one thing that we have in common is that of being a woman. And we bridge the gap, and we start to have these conversations that was once taboo. We break the curse of lack of communication. We are determined to do that here in Divine Femininity United. Okay, this is not just a place that we gather on Sundays and just kiki. No, this is healing. This is restoration. This is building up. This is putting us back on our pedestals where we belong, on our thrones where we belong, crowned where we belong, because we have too long seen ourselves as less than, and we've acted accordingly. It is time for us to remind us of our royal status. There is work to be done, and we need to come together to do it. Get yourself connected. There's a link above on Clubhouse. There's a link in the captions on every other platform, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Get yourself connected. Get yourself connected. Come together and let's build each other up how we need to be built. We need to communicate these things. Because too often right now, there's a bunch of undereducated, unconscious queens out here walking like the Walking Dead. Come alive, queen. Come alive, goddess. Come alive, mothers. Come alive, daughters. Come alive, aunties. Come alive, nieces. Come alive. Come alive. Come alive. Come alive. Come alive, sister. Come alive. Come alive. Come alive. Rise up. Take your proper place. Come alive. So that we can get back to birthing nations, kings and queens. Come alive so that we can get back to building, guiding, encouraging, being grandmother. Come alive. Rise up and take your place. There is much work to be done. And Queen Mother, we need you. We need you to heal. We need your tears to be drawn up because we need you at your post. We need you at your post. The world needs you at your post. You heal the mothers, you heal the daughters, you heal the woman, you heal the world. We need you. We need you. Rise up and take your place. Get yourself to the conference September 8th through the 10th, 2022, Miami, Florida. The link is above you on Clubhouse. The link is in the captions on all other platforms. This was amazing, and we need to continue these conversations. We need to continue these conversations for our now and for our future, and also in reverence of our past. Because our matriarchs went through things that they didn't have to go through, but because they didn't know, no one told them, no one taught them. They went through things so that we don't have to go through things. They will not live, their lives will not be in vain. That is my vow to mine. That is my vow to mine. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. That is my vow to my ancestors. Your life will not be in vain. Your lessons will not have to continue to be learned because your experiences is my greatest teacher. My vow to you is to live a better way with the information and the knowledge that you gave me. My vow is to make them know that I thank you, and my appreciation is showing a healed self, a queen self, a royal self. Okay? I love you all. I mean it. There's absolutely positively nothing, and I mean nothing that you can do about it. Don't you even try it. Okay? You all have an amazing day, and make sure you tap that link. Make sure you tap that link. Make sure you get yourself to that conference. I mean that. If you got to do a payment plan, it is what it is. It's in September. You got time. All right? I'll talk to you next week. No, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sacred Woman. We're doing the reading. We're going into the next phase. We're taking this sacred woman journey, okay? Getting ourselves prepared. All right? Love you. Mean it. There's absolutely positively nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing. Sister, queen, mother, daughter, niece that you can do about it. Don't you even try it. Peace.